So you've done your super strong paddle in, you've eyed out already what, you have an idea of what the wave is going to be doing. Now it's all about getting down the face of the wave, against that pull and against that suck. The takeoff has to be full commitment, and everything is about leaning forward. If I'm going frontside, I've done my strong paddle in, I pop to my feet, my eyes are looking at the base of the wave. That is my only goal on takeoff. And as I pop to my feet, I make sure that my hands are in front of me and I'm super crouched, leaning very, very forward. If I'm on my forehand, I like to slightly engage the rail. The rail of the board helps you to actually grip to the face. So when the wave gets very steep, you engage the rail, you lean a little bit over your toes, hands in front of you directing your motion straight down. So you have your rail engaged, but your nose is still going straight down the face of the wave. When you get to about midway down the wave, that's when you start to look up, and that's when your hands will start to guide you to get more of an angle, and you'll start going to the direction that you want to go. But again, a takeoff is all about getting momentum down the face of the wave. It's about beating everything that's sucking, all the wind blowing up the face of the wave. It's about getting down against that. Crucial mistake that people make when it gets steep is they lean backwards and they lift the nose of their board and they try to airdrop. So it's quite counterintuitive that the steeper the wave is, the stronger you have to paddle and the more you actually have to lean forward to get down the wave. The worst thing you can do is straighten up, lift your hands up, and lift the nose of your board up. This will cause you to stall and get lip launched, which you definitely don't want to do. If we're looking backside now at the takeoff, again, you've done your strong paddle. And literally what you do, I love to grab my rail on my backside. So being a regular footer, going to my left. As I pop up, I stay super crouched and low. I grab my rail and I lead with my front arm. This is very important. Again, you don't want to have too much angle on takeoff. If you try and go sideways too early, you're first of all going to get stuck at the top. And second of all, your fins are probably going to come out the face of the wave and you're going to slide out. So I like to be straight. So what I do is I engage the rail by leaning a little bit over my heels. That helps me to engage the rail and stay gripped to the face of the wave. But I then direct with my front arm. So I'm grabbing and I'm directing with my front arm to stay straight. Then once I get past midway, I start to open up my shoulder. My arm leads me to the direction I want to go and I start to angle. Again, the rail needs to be fully engaged throughout. No leaning back, it's all forward. All your motion is directed forward like that. And when you get past the midway, you start to open up, and then that's going to be your pump up into the pit. Okay, so this is my 6.8 that I just brought home from Chopu, and it felt amazing. So you'll notice this board has got quite a lot of rocker and concave is quite central to explaining the takeoff. So basically, the rocker and curve in the board allows you to fit into the curve of the wave. What we have is we have concave. You'll see that underneath the board has that. So the stringer is the flattest part of the board. The rails have the most curve or rocker. So it's flatter in the middle, there's a lot more curve in the rails. So when the wave gets super steep and hollow and you want to engage in the face of the wave, you have to engage the curviest part of the board. If you take off and go directly straight down the wave flat, you're riding on the flat part of the board and you're probably going to nosedive. Whereas if you take off and you engage the rail like that, you are now surfing on the curviest part of the board, and that's going to bite nicely into the face of the wave, and you're not going to nosedive. And when the wave is super, super steep, your rail helps you to stay gripped and engaged to the face of the wave. Okay, so you're coming down the face of the wave with your rail engaged because that's the curviest part. So as you get past midway down the face of the wave, that's when you're going to start to angle the nose of your board in the direction to which you want to go. So before that, you're straight and on the rail, and then getting past halfway, that's when you start to angle where you want to go. And you're doing that by pivoting with your back foot a little bit more. Maybe you can even start to put a little bit more weight on your back foot, and your arms direct your energy. So your arms and your head start to look to where you want to go, and that moves the board in that direction, whether it's to the left or to the right.